Hello everybody and welcome to my channel Lisa Horton Crafts. I've been asked to create a video talking about my Slimline multi-envelope. Actually, it's one of our older dies. It's been around for a year or two now actually, but I haven't had a chance, believe it or not, to create any content relating to it, and I can't believe how remiss that is of me. So today I thought I'd pop in with a video so we can share how to create the envelope and actually how it also creates a slimline card for you. And also we can talk about how you can reduce the size of this to fit in a mini slimline as well. So this has got a lot of options for you. It's also got the sentiments and all the little extra additional pieces that you can use in any other projects that you like. So let's get cracking with this. Now, when you get yours home, mine is used, so mine has been taken apart. What I need you to do is snip all of your pieces apart. And what I mean by that is all of your pieces, when they come to you, will come like so, and there'll be another piece inside, not this one in particular, but there'll be another piece inside. I can't remember which piece comes inside what, but you will need to twist them, snip them, or if you've got any jewelry snips, that would be really useful. Take off all those extra pieces and separate all of your dies. So how do we use this? It's actually really, really simple, and when I show you, it will click straight away. So the first thing you need to do is look at the base. Now the base of your envelope is going to be this really simple die. So this is the back piece of your, I suppose, back, or no, actually it's the front of your envelope, because what you'll need to do then is add two of these dies. So what you do is you cut one of these, and we're going to do it all in real time for you so you can see me do it. You'll cut one of these and you will cut two of these. So that will sit that side, and another one will sit that side. So I hope that makes sense. Then we have our top and our bottom. So this is our top. This is going to be the piece that sits across the top. And what that will do is that will fold down for your envelope. And this piece is your bottom. So it's a smaller piece that will fold up. Okay, so we're going to start with those pieces first, but I will talk to you about these other pieces as well. These other pieces I'm going to pop to one side. Excuse my arm across the camera for a minute. These two pieces. So these are additions for you. So you might love this shape of this kind of header on your envelope. But what you can do is once you've cut it, cut a piece of it off to create a curved shape if you want to. And the same here. If you wanted to cut this out and then trim a bit off using this die here, you can create yourself a scalloped edge. So we'll keep those out. So once I've done the cutting, it will make a lot more sense to you. Now, please remember, this is a big die. It's a really big die. So what I've decided to do is take some 12 by 12 cardstock. So one's used, but these all come from my textured cardstock pack. For the envelope, we're going to use this purple and this blue, which I absolutely adore. So first of all, let's decide what the base is going to be. And I feel that the base should be this beautiful purple colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my die, I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut one of these out. So cut that like so. So I want to make the most of the cardstock I've got here. So I always do this. I trim around my card, so I know that's going to fit just. Oh, that was a little bit tight, but it still fits. We'll take that one down, and then we're going to use this die, and we're going to cut this twice. So I think I might actually give that a little bit more space than I did on that other piece. So we're going to cut this, and we're going to cut that twice. So I'm going to split that right down the middle. So in theory, what I'm saying is you're going to need either a couple of pieces of A4 or one piece of 12 by 12 to create your base. Because if the top and bottom, you could quite easily fit on here. But we're going to do those in another colour. So let's take those pieces. That's what we need for the base. And then this, I'm going to cut in the blue, because I think it's a super colour. And again, that's how I do it. And I'll take this piece, and I'll do it here, and we'll cut this out like so. That's a little bit large, but it's okay. So that's the 2 pieces I need for that. So that is going to create our card. So the camera might wiggle a bit, but I'm going to bring everything in real time for you, and we're going to create this envelope. So let's go in with the tough pieces first, as in, when I say tough, I mean the largest pieces. So the first one is going to be this. Now this does fit on your A5 die cutting machine, but what I'm going to say to you is, if you're going to use an A5 machine, I would possibly tape it down. Now, because I've got texture on my card, I'm going to make sure I line mine up straight. And I'm going to pop my tape right on the edge there, because I was a bit silly and I cut my card a little bit short, but it's going to be fine because I can see where the cut lines are. So we're going to be absolutely perfect. And then we'll run that one through, and we'll do again all of this in real time, so you can see exactly how we make that card. Now let me hang on a minute. Oh, I've not got that in straight. That's why. So make sure you get yours in straight. Don't put it in at an angle. Don't put the plates in at an angle, especially as you've got a lot of metal going through here. So remember, I'm trying to be careful. What I don't want to do is move my camera. So I'm trying to be really careful. There we go. And it's a speed hump, and it's a speed hump here because that piece of metal there is it's just a hard piece of metal, and it's trying to go through at a straight angle when I should have put it on a little bit more wonky. But there you go. So there's your first piece cut out. Okay, just pop that there for a second, and you can see how much I've got left on that. So I'm being really careful with my cardstock that I'm using, because I really do like this cardstock, and I want to save some to use on the inside of the card as well. So I've got another sheet of that I might use, or I might mix the colours up. Yeah, I'll have a think about that. When we get there, we'll decide. So that's your base. Let's come with the next 2. And I won't get them both on, but we will do one at a time. And we will twist this. I've got the tape on my hand still, so I can keep that. I'm going to twist that, but make sure it's straight against the grain of the cardstock. Pop that down, make sure we've covered it all. And again, I'm being slow, but I just want to make sure I don't move all my cameras. It might move a little bit, but you know what I'm doing, so you can understand why it's moving if it does. So that's another one. There we go, take that one off. And I will explain something about this in just a second when we take this tape off. Okay, keep that tape because we can use that on the second one. Pop that down there. Move that out the way and bring in a final one. And then all we've got to do is cut the last 2 pieces. And that is your envelope, basically. It's so easy. And it's so easy to make a super coordinating card with this. It's lovely. It's such a lovely set. I can't believe I hadn't done a video on this. So let me run that through one more time. And because these are such large dies, you may find that your dies bend a little bit, like so. But don't worry, they're absolutely fine. Nothing's going to happen to them. Pop them back into your envelope, and you will be good to go for the next time. And that's that one. Pull that gently. There we go. Not a lot of waste, is there, you see? So make sure you cut your cardstock to size, and you can save yourself an awful lot of card. And again, let's keep these pieces here. And we'll pop that there. And then we'll pop these ones on. Pop that down, turn that way. A little bit of an angle. Always like to do this at an angle, so we don't have too many speed bumps to go over. If I put it that way, there's a lot more pressure on the machine. So putting it this way prevents all that pressure on those rollers. So I just need one piece there. I'm sure that will be fine. She says, famous last words. Oh, and while I'm here, while I'm here, let me grab some of those extra pieces that were in the set. So in the set as well, you get all these little extras. So you get sentiments, you get these little envelope, you get a little heart. So what I might do, because I've got a little bit of space, I might put a little heart down there. Got a little star as well. Put a little star on. There we go. Or may take that one down, that little star, because that might go a little bit wobbly, I think. There we go. And run that through. So we've got, oh, actually, I'm just thinking we've got more space on here. Let's use that space and not have to do another pass. So I've got some yellow. A little bit big. Let's trim that a little bit off the end there. And then we can add one of those, and we can add that paper hugs. I think I've used that before. There's a little bit of die cut in there. That's paper hugs. I'm not too fussed about where they are on the sheet, but let me pick that up gently and run that through so we can get all of these pieces in one go. And again, try and get that. It's because I'm at an angle, I'm just trying to make sure you get to see it. So let's run that through. That was a little bit wobbly, wasn't it? Apologies. And another one. I'm trying to be careful when I can't. Let's go really slowly, so it doesn't. There we go. That didn't move too much, did it? So let's have a look at what we've done here. And I think you'll find that this can be absolutely perfect. So when we do our popping it all together, you're going to have lots of different elements that you can use. Look at that. I love this little envelope. Absolutely love this little envelope. Okay. So that's going to work on there as well. The little star, I'm actually going to leave those on the tape so I don't lose them. Then you've got your paper hugs. That's actually cut out in there, so we'll take that out in a second. And then this one we've got here. Okay, so we'll use that one there. We'll use this one here. The hearts come out as well, so we've used all of that space, which is wonderful. There's your two pieces. Let's put the envelope over here. The little heart and the little other pieces. So all of that can sit here for now. And then here we've got that little heart in the middle there, so you can just pop that out. And that little heart you can use perfectly as well with the envelope if you want to. Now, the next thing you need to do is, let me lift that one up, it's your paper hugs. And that will sit over here as well for the moment. We don't need any of these pieces now. We're pretty much done with the die cutting. You say you're very happy about that. Actually, no, we've missed one little thing. We've missed this. We need to do this little die. Can't believe I missed that little one there. So we have that little bit of tape there. We can just take that down. It's going to be really quickly running that through. Silly me. Do we need two? No, we need two of those. So look, what I'm going to do, we need two of them, but I'm sure if I pop that behind, we can get two at the same time. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm pretty sure we'll get two. And you'll see why we need two shortly. I'll run that back because that's double layer. And we can lift that off. Yes, we've got two there. So I'll put those in the bin, and we might need our pokey tool just to take those two out because they're going to be joined together. So let me make sure. Where's that second piece? There we go. So there's two of them there. Those two. Absolutely lovely. And that's all we need. So let me pop all my pieces over onto the floor, actually, keep them all out of the way so we've got plenty of room to work. Let's bring in all of our bits and bobs that we need. Now I need to pop that out of the die just like so. That will be really easy to do. And then we'll take that little bit out of there, and that's perfect. All the little bits have gone to one side. We'll keep these here so I can just show you what they're for, and all of those bits. So don't need them for a minute. What we do need though is our envelope. Now these are the bits I was telling you about. So now if you wanted a scalloped edge on your card, you could run that back through if you wanted to and just trim that off. I won't worry about doing that today, but if you trim that off, it gives you a nice scalloped edge to your, your envelope. And you can do obviously the same you can do with that. Give yourself a nice curve rather than a envelope shape. Now you'll see on this here, you've got a score line. So what you need to do is literally bend it on that score line. Okay, see I'm bending that? Be gentle because it's a delicate score line. I didn't want it heavy, so it went and cut through your card. If you feel you need to just mark it on your scoreboard, you can. You can literally bend that down. Again, we've got another one here, and I'm literally gonna bend that. You'll feel it. Just as you start to bend it, you'll feel it go. But don't be worried if it's not perfect. Just lay it down on your scoreboard, and you can do that easily, really easily. So there's those two pieces, okay? See those? Top and bottom. Now the sides are trickier only because it's longer to do, and I'm a little bit fussy, so I literally bend all the way down gently. Don't be hard with it because you'll end up creasing your card because you'll push it too much. And then we're going to fold those like so. And fold gently because if you push too hard again, you'll go off your line. There is your crease on that one. Okay, and we'll do the second one. And we'll do a crease on that. All the way down. All the way to here. And when you get to here, you can now literally fold that in half. Okay, so that gives you your wonderful, wonderful score lines. So now this becomes your card, and all you're going to do is turn it over so you've got the inside of your card, and then the plan is to take this folded piece and glue it to the edge. Can you see that? Right up to that edge. So when you open that, inside you've got the score line. Okay, now you could do that with red liner tape. You can do that with anything you like. Literally, we're going to now glue this or tape it, whatever you choose to do. Now I've got a tape runner. I would not normally advocate a tape runner, but the reason I'm doing the tape runner is so that I can pop a little bit of glue on as well, but I don't need to put a lot of glue on. So bear with me just a moment while I go and grab my glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our tape runner just on the back here, just on the back on that line. You can go straight in with glue if you want to, but obviously I need to be quick because obviously this is a live video, so you need to see it sticking. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue, tiny bit of glue. I don't need much at all because I've already got the tape on, and then you'll be able to do this better than I can, but because I really need to stand up to do this. But what I'm going to do is move those paper hooks out of the way, and let me see if I can do it easier that way so you can see. I'm going to pop this just down at the corner and then lay it down so it's right on that edge. See that? Right on that edge, and then inside you can see it's glued. So that's perfectly aligned on that edge. Now you can fold that down, and there's one side of your envelope. Okay, that's one done. And this one, it might be easier if we to show you by opening it. And I'm going to pop the glue again down this side. Okay, and then I'll use a little bit of my wet glue, the tiniest amount, she says. And then what we do is the same thing. We pop that right on that edge. Okay, right on that edge. Down here to that edge, so you can see that. There we go. And then fold that in. Mine's not exactly perfect, but you can move yours and do whatever you need to if you've got your wet glue. So there's your two side pieces. Okay, so now that will glue down nicely, and then inside, see what I mean, my glue is still a little bit wet. And now we have our top and our bottom. And let's do our bottom first. So again, we're going to pop our bottom inside and we're going to glue that on. Okay, so let's use a little bit of my tape runner, a little bit of that, and then a little bit of the wet glue. And then we turn that around and we're going to pop that down and line that score line up with the end of the card. There we go. I think that's about right. If I turn that over, can I see that score line? No, that's perfect. There we are. Leave that like so. So we've done the 4. Sorry, done 3. We're now on number 4. Haven't done 4 yet. Pop that along the edge. For me, this just helps. A tiny bit of glue. And then we do the same thing. Line this this pointy bit and that pointy bit with the edge. And just here with that edge, hold it, turn it over, make sure it's lined up as it needs to be. Hold that down. There's your envelope. And all you do now is you close this one in and you close that one in. And you're going to glue just down this little piece here. Tiny amount of glue. Don't need a lot at all. Just close to the edge as you can get. She says a tiny amount. Like so. See what I mean? Just so it closes perfectly. Down you go. Hold it a second. Well, I'm going to have to hold it because it's wet glue and I'm live. There you go. I'm sure that's stuck. Missed a little bit there, but I don't want it to go on the inside and stick it down to the inside. And then you take the bottom flap, fold up and glue. Sorry, that one's not quite sealed, but yours will be. Now, I've not been perfect. I can see on my lining up, but I'm going to trim it off in a second. So you'll see here, a little bit of glue, fold this up, and I can see, look, I've got a little bit of purple showing there. So that was my bad lining up, but you can absolutely trim that off if you want to. It's the tiniest amount, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I will trim that off. So I can't see any purple. There we are. Look at that already. How beautiful is that? And then there's your top envelope, and you fold that over. And then if I feel that there's a little bit showing there, yeah, I'm a little bit proud there. So me being me, just hold my scissors at an angle so I don't catch the blue bit. Trim that off. So there is my envelope with a nice, look at that. It looks like it's blue on the inside, doesn't it? Because I've put these two blue bits on. So there is your envelope. Now remember, if you wanted to, you did that large die. Let me grab a large die. You could have quite easily cut it there, and then put your top and bottom on. So you could have a smaller envelope. You didn't have to keep it that long if you didn't want to, although it does look really, really nice. But it just gives you options. And now you see what I mean about this other shape, can't you? Popping that one on there and trimming that out. So you could have a nice scalloped edge or a scalloped edge down here. So that's what those extra pieces are for. So there's your envelope. And then all you need to do is you'll have a card blank. You then have your matte and layer dies. So that one will sit in there. And that one will sit in there. Let's cut them. Let's do this. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this properly. So now we can do whatever we feel like doing. And I feel we're going to bring in that colour. And I feel we can bring in this colour. So we're going to do our matte in the blue. We'll do, oh, we're going to have to go that way, aren't we? Oh, I don't like using too much card. Can you tell? But I'm going to literally do like so. And you know what? I might switch it over. Let's use that. Let's use that big die again. Actually, you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm going to cut the big one in yellow, and I'm going to cut the small one in the blue. And I'm going to show you a little trick what we're going to do. Move these all out of the way. So the reason I'm going to swap it over, as in I'm going to do the big one in, that's going to be yellow, and this is going to be blue, is that my paper hugs is yellow. So we don't want a blue paper hugs, do we really? We don't want the blue bit. We don't want the blue bit behind and the yellow in front, because the paper hugs won't show up. So let me make some room again and bring up our die cutting machine. Bring up our plates, and let's do the yellow for the mat. And I will pop that in at an angle. I'm not going to tape it, but I'll pop it in at an angle. Pray it doesn't move, Lisa. I should really tape it, but time-wise, I think I'm going to be brave and go for it. There we go. I think we're fine. That's that one. Pop that to one side for a second. And now we can come in with the smaller one, and I'll come backwards instead. Pop that there. And see if we can run that backwards. There we go. Run that one back this way now. A little bit of time saving. There we go, run that through. So we've now got our two pieces, which I will show you in just a second. And let's move the machine out of the way again. Bring these pieces in and get rid of our rubbish. And bring the die, not the die, the card blank in. So we know straight away, here's our card base. And here's our lovely yellow that's going to sit on top here. Look, it's all stitched and everything for you. So you can absolutely 3D it if you want to. But for today, for speed, I'm just going to glue. And we'll pop that down here like so. There we go. It's pretty nice and straight. Happy with that one. Really lovely. And then we're going to pop the blue on the inside. But what I did think we would do is, let me see if I've got the one here that I wanted. I'm looking for an embossing folder, which is a DL. Now, where did I put that? And if I've got it, it will be really lovely to use. I'm taking it out of the packet. You know what? I'm very naughty because I've taken the folder out of the packet and I've been bad and I've not put it back. So let's see. Let's use this one. Let's use the crocus actually. Doesn't matter. It's still a DL and it will still be great with my cardstock. So we can pop that just inside. You're going to lose some of the top of it, but I just like having the detail on there. So now we need to bring the machine back in. This machine has been up and down like a yo-yo today, isn't it? Let's do that. But I did want to do this all live. We'll take all those plates out and we will bring our shim. We will take our embossing folder. I'm just going to pop that in. You can kind of see it. You'll see it coming through the other end. But this is our embossing folder. This doesn't jiggle the camera so much because it's not so kind of heavy duty going through. So pop that back in there. Pop our plates back where they should be and remove this one from our desk. There we go, that's out of our way nicely. And now we can take the grey plate off and remove that one. And now we'll see the wonderful detail from that embossing folder. So it would be really nice just to pop that, I think, on our card like so. That one away. But I do feel I quite like it with some foam pads on it. And I'm going to turn this over. Oops. What's going on? I've taken them off the wrong side. That's not really what I need to do, is it? Take one. There we go. That's the other one. So I took the cover off first. 3. One down here. Obviously, again, you are not under any time constraints, so you can absolutely do what you like. You could put a whole piece of foam pad on there. You can use your glue gel, whatever you like. Let's pop these off. I love this noise. I say it every time. These pieces. Well, that one didn't come off properly. That one. That one. And we can take this and we can turn this over. Now we've got a longer top and bottom, so we can trim that off in a minute. I feel that looks quite nice. There we go. And I'm going to trim that off now before I put anything else on here. So just use my little trimmer. And just to give us an even edge both sides. Much happier with that. And now there's our card. Really simple card. But we can also put our, if you wanted to put your paper hugs on there, you could. Beautiful. But I'm not putting them on there. I'm going to take a sentiment from my stash and I'm going to put thinking of you on there. So let me just grab my glue again. Now just be a little bit careful with your glue on this, and I'm just going to go to the end and a few pieces. I'm not going to be overzealous with the glue, just on here, just to hold it in position. But again, you at home have got time because you can allow your glue to dry. So I take this and I tend to tap off just in case there's anything that's, too much. And then we can pop that down there. Now you can use more of a background embossing folder if you want, but I just thought that was quite nice. Take that little bit of, that's what I mean about the glue. Yours will dry nice and clear before you need to put it in the envelope. So if we leave that for a second to dry, bring your envelope in, and it's really sweet because we can pop on at the bottom paper hugs if you want to, and then you could pop a little heart and a little star, maybe like so, or you can pop, a matte layer inside. But again, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do, because it's yellow, I'm going to use a blue, or if I've got enough blue, I'm going to use a blue. So we need to cut. Do you know what? I keep putting this die cutting machine away, don't I? And then I keep getting it out again. So what I might do is just do this off camera really quickly. You don't potentially need to see me do this. However, you're going to see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's just do one here. Now let's make a decision which one we want. Move that out of the way a second. Yeah, we'll have the larger one. So we're going to pop our die in here. Let me just take this down 1 second. It'll take a minute because I don't want to use too much cardstock again. I just want to be careful with what I've got left on this set. So we'll just take that and we're going to run that through. Hang on a minute, we've got all the plates in. And we're not straight again. Come on, let's line this up. There we go. That's better. So run that through, final time, and then the machine will go to sleep. Let's move that out of the way. Let's grab our die cut piece. Let's put the die somewhere else, and we'll keep that piece of card because we will use that for another project. My squeaky cupboard there. Let's again pop this away for you. And then now we've got our base, and this one I'm actually going to use this this tape runner just for speed. A little bit down there. It is super sticky, this one. It's the one from Create and Craft. But then we'll pop that just in the middle to tie it all together beautifully. So we're stuck with those 3 colours, and we're going to pop paper hugs at the bottom, and we'll bring all these other pieces in just a second. I've just tried to keep them out of my way so I don't get in too much of a pickle. So let's grab that one, take off all the excess, and we can go, well, there's a bit too much glue there, but that's okay because it will dry clear. Paper, then we've got our hugs, and again there's a little bit on my arm, but I can wipe that off in just a second. You don't need to do that if you're not comfortable with that. Just for me, for speed, it makes it a little bit easier to get rid of some of that excess glue. Okay, and then we'll take all of that off of there like so, and we'll pop the hugs so it's literally nestling in there. Love that already. A little bit of glue there. Let that glue dry. That'll be dry by the time I come back to that. So there's your paper hugs, and up here we can pop. Do we want a little heart on there? Yeah, I think our little envelope could go on there. A little heart inside's missing, but the blue will come through for that. There we are. So there's our little paper hugs. Cute as a button, isn't it? Such a cute little look. And I don't think I'm gonna need those two, not for this card. But remember now what we need to do finally on the back here. We're going to take one of those and one of those. Hang on, I've got two. We need the tiniest foam pads. Tiniest foam pads in the world, really. Excuse the noise, I'm trying to find my small ones. Don't know where they are. I'm going to have to use a big one and cut it. So what you're going to have to do is, if you've got small pads, all well and good. If you haven't, I mean, you don't have to do this. You can seal yours down, but I really like the idea of this. One sec. I've got these sticking everywhere now. They're super sticky foam pads. These are my foam pads on a roll that are on the website. So you're going to, on the back, turn that one over on the back. And what, I won't do it, but you can do this if you choose to. And one of these will sit up here, like so. See that? And then you'll pop the other one down there. And then you'll get some twine and you'll twine around there. And that will kind of hold it together. So you can do this, you don't have to, or you can just glue it down. And then you will take your lovely card, and we've made sure they fit perfectly inside. So it fits beautifully. So look at that. Inside, and then you'll fold that down. And there is your beautiful embellishment. You could have even put your embossing folder on the front there if you wanted to. But let's just take that out so you can see. There is the cutest envelope, isn't it? So I think that should hopefully encourage you, if you have yours, to get yours out and play with it. It is a stunning set. It's going to give you lots of opportunities. It really, really is. So this is the Slimline multi-envelope. And it contains 14 dies, and it gives you the ability to create that amazing card and that envelope that you can use time and time again.